Welcome to In It to Win It. This is Steve Barton. Thank you for tuning in. If you're liking these videos, hit the like and subscribe with the little bell notification icon. You'll be notified of future episodes. All right, we got a story coming out. This came out a couple days ago, but it is on France and China. And France is buying Yuan. They are settling oil and gas in the Yuan currency. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. We're going to take a look. France brings de-dollarization to Europe by trading in yuan. Okay, so normally they're doing this in dollars, and now they're doing it in yuan. The more countries that start to do this, the worse it is for the United States because, we get to export a lot of our inflation, and we've enjoyed this system of over 50 years of essentially sending paper dollars and numbers on a screen to other countries, and they send us stuff, real things like refrigerators and cars. Looks like that period is slowly coming to an end. We kind of expect this from little small countries that, don't have a whole lot of clout. But when you see that France is now doing it, this may be happening faster than we thought. Following news that Brazil and China agreed to trade in their local currencies, it emerged that a French company charged the export of liquefied natural gas to China National Offshore Oil Corporation in the Chinese yuan. This is another sign that the inexorable process of de-dollarization has gained momentum and even spread into the European Union. This should not be surprising given the difficult economic situation across the EU, meaning that companies will look after their own interests above all. Nonetheless, the media has already characterized the transaction between the Chinese company and Total Energy in yuan as historic. We used to own Total, bought them when oil was almost free, back right after COVID. We've since sold them, but this is really, really interesting as far as what Total is choosing to do here when they're buying, selling oil and gas in yuan. So here's another article. I'll link both of these in the show notes below. Dollar dumped. How the first China UAE, so United Arab Emirates, gas deal in yuan is a big blow to the U.S. Around 65,000 tons of liquefied natural gas imported from the UAE was exchanged for yuan in the trade between China's national oil company and France's Total Energies. Some say countries like the UAE are reacting to a global power imbalance, but others question whether this will be replicated on a larger scale. Now, what's interesting about France in particular is back in 1959, when we were on the gold exchange standard. So we had basically every ounce of gold was pegged to $35, 35 American dollars. And what we, all the other currencies after Bretton Woods were based on U.S. dollars. So, all the world's currencies were based on the U.S. dollar, and the U.S. dollar was backed, every 35 was backed by 1 ounce of gold. Well, in 1971, the jig was up, and we as Americans, we printed way more currency than we actually had gold to back it up. But France was one of the first big countries to realize this. And in 1959, their president said, hey, we've been taking dollars for all these trades. We're going to, if you're saying that it's $35 an ounce, we'll take gold instead. Here's a little clip from that back in 1959. And this is the president basically letting his people know, hey, we're not getting a very good deal here. And the U.S. has been taking advantage of this situation for some time, and we're going to take gold instead of dollars. All right, I'm going to play it here.
Currency supply, the amount of paper dollars in circulation, and exported them all over the world. And then in the 60s, Charles de Gaulle, president of France, realizes that we don't have the gold to...
Oh, 60s. I thought it was 1959, but I would err on the side of Mike Maloney on this one.
Back up the dollars.
Le fait que beaucoup d'États acceptent par principe
Except as a principle
des dollars au même titre
dollars
que de
being as
l'or,
good as gold,
entraîne les Américains
leads Americans
à s'endetter et à s'endetter
Get into debt.
gratuitement
and to get into that
vis-à-vis de
debt for free.
l'étranger, car
the
ce qu'ils
expense
lui
of
doivent,
other
ils le
countries.
lui payent avec
Because
des
what the
dollars
US
qu'il ne
owes-
tient qu'à eux d'émettre. Nous estimons nécessaire
Consider it necessary.
que les échanges internationaux
International trade
soient établis comme c'était le cas
established
avant les grands
as it was
malheurs
the
du
clause
monde,
before the great misfortunes of the world. He's talking
sur
about
une base monétaire
an
indiscutable
indispensable monetary
et
base.
qui ne porte la marque
One that does
d'aucun
not bear the
pays
mark
en
of any
particulier.
particular country.
Quelle base?
What base?
En vérité, on ne
In
voit
truth,
pas
one can't see
qu'il puisse y avoir
how one could
réellement
really have
de critères,
any standard criteria
d'étalons autres que l'or.
other than
And
gold.
he starts asking, France
Now, France is taking this to the next level, and they're doing the same thing here. They're like, well, you know, the USD countries are starting to drop the American dollar. You know, let's take some of this oil and gas instead for Chinese yuan. It took them, I don't know, 10 or 12 years or so to get off of you know, the gold standard. And ironically, when Nixon took us off the gold standard, nobody blinked, which said, okay, now our currency is backed by the full faith and credit of the U.S. government, and that was it. But I think that this is I didn't see this happening as fast as it is. But you know, we had Brett Johnson of the dollar milkshake theory on the show, and he basically said this is going to be a very slow process. It's probably going to take decades to unfold. But this is a big blow to the U.S. dollar, and you're not going to see it on the 5 o'clock news. So here, heard it first here on In It to Win It. Thank you guys for watching. Hit the like and subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will talk to you next time.